Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So recently a brand called Art & Fly sent me some of their art supplies to basically test them out and give them a review. And you know how much I love testing new art supplies and finding out if any of these new products are good enough to put them in my collection. So that's why today we're testing the Art & Fly brand and we're gonna find out whether their art supplies are anything good and if they are worth investing your money in. So if you're interested in finding that out with me, then just make sure you stay with me and keep on watching. Okay, so first let me show you all the supplies that I got. There is a box of 48 brush tip markers, box of 48 color pencils, a pack of 6 black fine liners, pack of 3 white gel pens, and a marker sketch pad. So now let's take a closer look on each supply individually. First, the markers. You can see that they came in nicely and neatly packed in the box. Each marker is dual-ended and there is a brush tip on one side and a chisel tip on another side. The marker feels pretty lightweight, yet it's quite comfortable and stable while holding. The colored pencils are described as artist-grade oil-based pencils. They feel a little bit lighter than, for example, a polychromos pencil, but at the same time they still give you an impression of being a quite professional art supply. Then we have white gel pens that look just like normal pens, and we shall see how they're gonna perform on the paper. And then the fine liners, they come in the package of 6 and their thickness varies from 0.05 to 0.8 millimeters. And lastly, there's a marker sketch pad. It's a little bit bigger than A4, it's 90 grams and it has 60 pages. Alright, so I'm starting off with already made sketch so we can focus on the products better. First, I wanted to outline my drawing with the fine liners, however the thinnest outliner of the set is 0.05 millimeters, which is a little bit too thick for me. Since I do my drawings usually on A5 or A4 paper, I usually also use 0.03 fine liner to get those really precise and tiny lines. So even though I really wanted to try this Art & Fly fine liner, I didn't get a chance to use it that much since I didn't want it to make my outline too thick and rough. So that's why you can see in the video that later on I switched for my Copic multiliner, which was 0.03mm, which was what I needed for my outline. And after I did a little bit of outlining, I erased the pencil lines and I started putting the very first layer of color. And the color applied very evenly and the brush tip felt really nice to work with. I could easily apply a couple of layers of color and they all blended together nicely. And even though I used only one shade to color in her skin, I still managed to build up the shading. And also at one point later on, I wanted to enhance her cheekbone shading and I wanted to do it with the same color that I was coloring in her face, but instead I accidentally took the dark brown shade and I did a dark brown stroke on her face and I was so worried that I just messed up my whole drawing. But well, eventually I managed to blend this spot into the other colors. So this once more proves my point that these markers are really good quality and they are highly blendable. Then when I was done with her face coloring, I went ahead with coloring her hair. And I know that you can't see it on the video right now, but I just wanted to ramble on my marker experience first, so that's why the video is a little bit out of the order in comparison to the voiceover, so I really hope that you don't mind. Anyways, for her hair, I decided to use only 2 shades of brown. They also applied nice and even, but when I used a bit darker shade, I started to notice that those oily streaks of color started to appear. The same thing happens with Copics, and when you use a certain color, usually those darker ones, the paper kind of doesn't absorb all the ink and you're left out with those oily streaks on top of the color you're using. I hope that you can see this on the drawing because I did some shots to show you how the light is reflecting on those oily streaks, so you're probably gonna see that later on. And well, I need to admit that it's kind of annoying, but like I said, it also happens with Copics, so I think it's just some problem with making the darker shades of marker. But well, this time it wasn't that much of an obstacle for me, because later on I just managed to cover those oily streaks with the colored pencil. And now it's time to speak a little bit about these color pencils that you could already see me using while shading the face. And well, when I first tried them, I could already tell that they won't be my favorite pencils. Like I noticed at the beginning, they were really dry and soft pastel-like. It's not that big of a drawback, and I'm for sure not saying that these pencils are crap or anything like this. But I just wanted to say that I'm a person who prefers more waxy pencils that doesn't leave much texture on the paper. You know that I totally love Faber-Castell and I will always compare any other pencil to my favorite polychromos. And since Art and Fly pencils are on the drier side, they're just not something that I would usually grab for. If you're a fan of a little bit more texture in your drawing and you prefer a more dry finish, then these pencils are going to be something for you. And now when I think of how could I describe those pencils a little bit more, I think that I can compare them to some of the Derwent pencils. I remember I was trying Derwent pencils, colored pencils, sometime in my life, and I don't know which series of it was, so I can't give you the exact name and the exact series of them, but I remember they also gave you this kind of charcoal, soft pastel-like texture, so I think that these Art and Fly could be compared to some of the Derwent pencils. But well, despite all this and despite that these pencils are not going to be my faves, like I said, I still managed to achieve a quite good shading with them, and I still think that they do what they need to do. And now last two things. The white gel pens are going to become my definite favorites for sure. They were very opaque, they were not skippy at all, and they allow you to make your lines nice and flowy. And also they glide easily on top of markers and on top of colored pencils, so that's something really important for me. And yeah, I'm definitely adding them to my favorite art supply list. And now a few words about the paper. I also liked it quite much. It doesn't soak up the ink immediately, so it gives you some time to work on your blending. And that is a must for me when I choose the paper for my drawings. So I'm definitely going to keep on testing it out to see how it's gonna perform with different art supplies. But so far so good, and I'm really happy with the quality of this paper, so I'm definitely gonna keep on using it to test it out and to see if it's gonna be my favorite. So to sum everything up, the things I'm definitely recommending to you guys at this moment are the markers and white gel pens. Not only they are super affordable, but also they're just good quality and they are good art supplies. So if you want something new to add to your collection, you should definitely check them out. Also, the fine liners were really good, but they are destined for the people that don't mind working with the thicker outline. And the paper is also worth your attention and consideration if you want to try some new marker paper. The only thing that I didn't like that much were the colored pencils. But like I said, I'm just not the person that likes dry pencils that has this like charcoal, soft pastel feeling to them. So if you are this person that likes this kind of texture and this feeling, the finish of it, then go for it. But those pencils are just not for me. And well, that's all about the products, and now I'm gonna leave you to enjoy the rest of my drawing process, and I'll see you by the end of the video.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight, bets are off, I'm gonna find my way tonight, Won't you talk to me, I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me, we'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me, one night to find the answer. Won't you talk to me, what makes this heart beat faster? What makes this heart beat faster? What makes this heart beat faster? Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight, bets are off, I'm gonna find my way tonight, Won't you talk to me, I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me, we'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me, one night to find the answer. Won't you talk to me, what makes this heart beat faster? What makes this heart beat faster?
Alright guys, so that concludes my art and fly review, and let me guys know, first of all, how did you like my drawing? I think it came out pretty awesome, to be honest. And second of all, what do you think about this review? Did you find any of these products interesting enough that you actually gonna buy them? Let me know, I'm really curious about this. And that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, don't forget to hit that like button if you liked my video. And you can also subscribe to my channel. Well, you're more than welcome to subscribe. And you can also press that little bell icon so you get the notification every time I upload. And yeah, that's all for today. Once more, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye!
I'm just going with the gut, never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.